Hi from Spirited Vibes, and thank you for joining me. Do you feel like you should be doing something in life? Like there's a calling and you've been pulled to something but you don't know what it is? Well, for decades, I went living my life the same way. Like I was not living in alignment with who I was, and I knew I wasn't, but I didn't know how to find who I was. So the millennium started for me in a really bad way. I lost a relationship and I had two young children under three, and I was living overseas, so I had to come home and start again. And so when you've hit the bottom, like a lump of concrete at the bottom of the ocean, when you've got nothing else to lose, you've got an awful lot to gain. And so I started again, but I started again with a different mindset. So the relationship breaking down and the drama that goes with it was probably one of the worst times of my life and also one of the best because it taught me so much about me and what I really valued in life. So you can turn things around. It's it's not all bad. They say there's a silver lining, in every cloud there's a silver lining. Well, I was exhausted. I was exhausted and I didn't know what to do. And I came back to New Zealand. And so I just said, well, I can't think. I can't see the wood for the trees. So I'm going to let my soul lead the way because I really didn't know where to go from here. And so most of us wait for that one big thing that shows us step by step the way to our life purpose. And we'll all sit back waiting and waiting for that. Well, it doesn't work that way. The soul uses little whispers, just small little, every now and then, well, that feels right. Oh, that makes me really happy. Little things that just light you up and you think, oh, okay. So intuition doesn't always make sense. And it takes a lot of courage to follow the lead of your intuition. A lot of courage. But if you do let it lead, it'll take you to some wonderful places. We do overthink life because we're taught to overthink life, and we end up living a life that we feel like we should be living, but not who we really are or what we really want to be living. And so as a child, do you remember as a child you had these dreams, I'm going to be a writer or a traveller or an artist and a ballerina. And then as we got older, we were trained not to think with your heart, but to think with your head. And so we started living a life because we needed to figure out what we had to do. They would say, what are you going to do with your life? Well, you don't know. You're a young person. You just started on this planet. You don't know what's out there, so you can't figure it out. So you let your head take over and you follow all the shoulds and you go into often another path, which it's a job, but it's not your calling. And inside that thing keeps burning inside of you. Well, it takes effort and it does take a lot of courage to get on your intuitive path, to follow your intuition and say, well, actually I've always wanted to be a writer, so I'm going to be a writer. Even if you start off in your part-time, it's okay, one little step. Once you start doing that and aligning with your life purpose, life will actually start to flow. And things start coming into your life that keep complementing what it is you want. And so the way that I found that is really good to find this, and it may not happen the first time, and it's meditation. And you probably hear this meditation word come up a lot, but truly you need to quieten your mind. So a nice relaxing meditation where you just quieten your busy, busy mind and then ask your intuition, what is it that I want to do? And don't you dare bark, young man. A car just stopped outside my house and the dog is so looking like he wants to bark. No barking. And so let your heart answer. But to let your heart answer your question, you have to still your mind. So prayer is a good way to ask the question, and meditation is the way to hear the answer. So listen, hear, and then act. And if you want to live your life according to your calling, every day you have to listen, hear, and act. So to make it all real, you have to actually take an action. One small step. So what are you going to do today? One small step towards what your calling is. And if, for example, if it was to be a songwriter, then start writing down some words. One small step will lead to another step. And it tells the universe a clear message that you're now on your path. And so the universe says, oh, well, we're ready now. So we'll start bringing in the things that will complement what they're after. And then it'll start to grow, and the momentum will go, and then the ball will start rolling, and your life will start to change in the direction that actually feels more aligned with who you really are. Intuition is useless unless you act upon it. Most of us wait a whole lifetime waiting for that step-by-step instruction to land in front of us and say, this is what your purpose is, off you go. Well, it doesn't work that way. It's telling you every day, and little things every day that light up. And every little day you have that, oh, I'd like to do this, but I've got to do this. It's there, whispering to you all the time. Just give yourself a moment to hear it, and then take one little action. And you watch your life start to gain, and the joy come into your life, and everything will change. So that is what I wanted to say to you today, was what is your calling? And if you want to know, another little trick is, I've just asked you, what is your calling? And then the very first thought that comes into your head before your brain has a chance to second guess it all, your very first thing, I want to be a clown. Well, then put down, I want to be a clown. Because maybe your calling is to entertain people, to bring them joy and happiness. Start with that and see how you get on. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for joining me, and goodbye from Heather, and goodbye from my dog who did not bark.